Coming up on Mountain News this morning, more than 50 businesses in downtown Hazard alone are in recovery mode as they plan out what's next.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News this morning.
Good morning and a happy Friday to you, Mountain family. My name is Amelia Lee with you on this February 21st. We are so close to being done with this month, and the time is 6 o'clock. It's also time to check on in with meteorologist Megan Dusmal for a look at that forecast this morning. And Megan, I just have to give a shout out to my neighbor because we've had this snow recently and he has shoveled me out every day and cleaned off my car. So just a big shout out to him and other folks who are helping each other out during this time.
I love that. I'm so grateful for you to get your car scraped off for you. I've been leaving before the snow comes in, so it's after work that I have to scrape my car. But hey, good news is he doesn't have to do it any longer because there's no more snow in the forecast. Now today we do see those colder temperatures, so you will need to set out a little bit more time just to warm up your car because we're talking single digits and low teens. The warmest temperature in the area is 16 degrees as you're traveling towards Prestonsburg, and that's still quite chilly. You're going to need that heavy winter coat. And as we travel into the afternoon, we're still going to see quite cold temperatures. We're talking 30s across the board, with one exception, Wise, which is at 28 degrees. Warmest in our area, 36 for Middlesboro and Harlan. So please wear that jacket all day long. You're going to need it. Here's a breakdown of how today will pan out. We'll see those temperatures hitting a high as we're heading to that 3 o'clock hour and then getting a little bit cooler overnight. But overall, next week is going to be looking a lot better. Amelia.
All right, thank you, Megan. Well, local businesses are trying to bounce back after floodwaters destroyed their livelihoods over the weekend. 57 businesses in downtown Hazard now face a big question. How do they bounce back? I sat down with folks at Coal Country Candles to talk about what comes next. Shannon Gabbard moved as many candles as she could onto higher shelves in anticipation of the flood to come. Watching the waters rise inside of Coal Country Candles through security camera footage.
Just kind of feels like, is it ever going to stop?
Unable to do anything but sit and wait.
When you first walk in, it feels overwhelming.
34 inches of water filled up the building, leaving its mark as a brown stain on a white curtain.
It's heartbreaking, right, because we spent months preparing this building.
In August, Gabbard celebrated the grand opening of her new location on North Main Street.
And here we are, just a little over 6 months, and it feels like we're starting all over again.
A glimmer of hope as the community rallies around to clean up.
Flood has been devastating for everyone, and we just want to see everybody get back to where they were.
Lining up with mops and gloves, ready to take on the challenge of scrubbing shelves and cleaning floors.
No place I'd rather be. If we have to go through something like this, it's right here.
Showing a special connection between the people of Appalachia.
Even if you're not family, you're family to us.
With a little bit of light to be seen after a dark night.
We left yesterday feeling more hopeful than we did when we walked in or when we were watching from cameras the night before and watching the water come in.
Gabbard says she plans to sell the product that was salvageable. She says she hopes other local businesses are able to bounce back. A group of nurses from the Breathitt County Health Department offered various vaccines around the county yesterday. The mobile outreach van operated in 2 different locations in the county. Nurses were given hepatitis A, tetanus, and flu shots after a major flood event. Floodwater can be a concern to your health.
It's just good to have, regardless if you're in the floodwater or not.
Floodwaters can carry hazardous bacteria. Not only is there risk of injury from the floating debris, but there is also risk of disease. The health department encourages adults and children to stay updated on hepatitis A and tetanus vaccinations. Emergency disaster services are once again in eastern Kentucky as the community grapples with the mark this weekend's flood left behind. Matt Daly with EDS says he's telling their crews to take things slow because of snow and ice, even though slow means more time until normalcy returns. Daly says it's never easy responding to disasters on familiar ground.
The job number one for us is making sure everybody gets home. Being in the backyard, essentially, in central Kentucky, is we were able to respond very quickly.
Daly says they plan to move out of their Pikeville location Friday afternoon, but that doesn't mean their work there is done. The people of Pike County are ready for a break from the weather as many communities work to get back on their feet from the flood. Others are still isolated from the basic needs. But as WYMT's Buddy Forbes shares, neighbors are trying to fill the gaps for those in the most need.
Neighborhoods ravaged by water, roadways covered in mudslides, an entire gas station washed away.
It was scary, not knowing what you was going to wake up to.
When the weekend floods rushed through Pike County, the people of Mount Card were left with a sense of dread.
We still don't know how bad it is because we had the flooding, the roads are breaking, their driveways are being covered in debris. We can't get to them, they can't get out, and then the snow comes.
With many homes disconnected from the outside because of broken or blocked roadways.
So it's neighbors helping neighbors, and that's really word of mouth is how we're finding out about the people that are needing assistance.
First responders, school workers, and volunteers have been stepping up, working side by side to get resources to those in need, delivering water, meals, cleaning supplies, and more.
In some places, that's the only way you can get there is by side or walk, either one. The roads are so bad.
With East Ridge High School serving as the area's distribution center, family resource workers say the recovery effort is all hands on deck.
And we have a station set up and we ask just a few simple questions so we can meet your needs the best that we can. And then we have volunteers that go behind the scenes and they pull those items from all the donations that have been coming in.
And though they say everyone is praying for an end to the chaos,
Everything's just going to take time, you know. On times like this, all you could do is pull together and come together as a community.
they are working to provide a needed calm from the storm. In Pike County, Buddy Forbes, WYMT Mountain News.
Anyone who needs assistance in the area served by East Ridge High School can contact Berdine or Cheryl Ward, who is a coordinator for Elkhorn City. Companies throughout America are coming together to help those affected by flooding in eastern Kentucky. Walmart's connected with Operation Barbecue Relief to help provide hot meals to those in need. Operation Barbecue Relief has multiple stations set up through the Commonwealth, including Pikeville and South Williamson. In Pikeville, WYMT spoke with Steve Anderson, who is an area coordinator for the nonprofit.
So our main focus on a disaster deployment is we go in and we feed first responders, we feed those people that have been impacted by the disaster. Really anybody that needs a hot meal. We believe in that barbecue has a healing power.
The operation will continue to serve meals for the time being. For details on dates and times, you can go to their Facebook page at Operation Barbecue Relief.
Today is a very cold day, especially this morning. We're under that cold weather advisory, but thankfully we will be warming up just a little bit as we're heading into the afternoon. Here's a look at those current temperatures in the single digits for a lot of our region. We're looking at 3 degrees for Somerset and 4 degrees for London and Irvine. Now let's take a look at the wind, because areas that see the higher wind speeds are going to see those temperatures feel even colder. We're looking at 5 mile per hour winds in Prestonsburg, Pikeville, and Hazard. And as we look at those feels like temperatures, they've definitely dropped down, looking at 0 degree feels like temperature in Jackson and a 2 degree feels like temperature in Hazard. Now we'll continue to see these very cold temperatures as we're going through the morning hours, but as we head into the afternoon, we'll be getting into the low 30s, which still sounds cold, but compared to yesterday's low 20s, definitely an improvement. Amelia?
All right, thank you, Megan, and thank you for joining Mountain News this morning. We have more news on the way. Scientists are working on a new vaccination, and this time it's not for humans, but for birds.